The palace square was quiet. All eyes were on King Obanifo as he stood between two strong chiefs. His face was calm, but his heart was heavy. Chiefs Durojaye and Makanjuola had just spoken to him. They didn't want Obilagwu, the big-headed dwarf, to finish the flogging. They felt it would be a shame if a man so small and strange-looking married the princess. The king thought long and hard. He looked at Obilagwu again, the little man standing bravely on the table, covered in sweat and blood, but still standing tall. He remembered his own words. Whoever could endure all the flogging would marry the princess and become rich and powerful. After some silence, King Obanifo raised his hand. "I will not go back on my words," he said. "Let the flogging continue." The crowd roared with excitement. But the chiefs were not done. Chief Durojaye stepped forward again. "Your Majesty," he said loudly, "we believe the floggers are not hitting this man as hard as they hit the others. Maybe they feel sorry for him because of his size. That is not fair." The crowd gasped. Obilagwu looked up at the king without fear. The king rubbed his beard and nodded slowly. "Then let it be fair," he said. "I command that 30 more strokes be added to his punishment. Let everyone see that this man won the prize with honor." The chiefs smiled. They were sure Obilagwu would fall. He had already taken 80 hard strokes. His small frame looked weak, his tunic torn and soaked with blood. How could he take 30 more? But Obilagwu nodded. "I am ready," he said with a faint voice. "Let it be done." The flogger stepped forward again. The cane rose and fell. Each stroke echoed through the square. Obilagwu winced, groaned, and trembled, but he did not fall. His hands held the edges of the table tightly. His eyes were shut, his teeth clenched. People who once laughed now watched in silence. Some wept, others prayed. The princess herself was crying in the background, holding her chest. Stroke 90, stroke 100, stroke 110. The flogger paused. He looked at the king, who nodded for the final one. Stroke 110, done. Obilagwu collapsed to his knees on the table, breathing heavily. He had done it. He had taken not just 100, but 110 strokes, and he was still alive. The entire square exploded with loud cheers. People clapped, shouted, and danced. Women brought out drums and began to sing. Even the royal guards were smiling. King Obanifo stood and lifted his staff high into the air. "Obilagwu has proven himself," he shouted. "He has shown courage, patience, and love. He shall marry the princess and become heir to my throne." The princess, Princess Ifunanya, walked slowly to the table. Her gown flowed like a river. She reached up and took Obilagwu's hand. The crowd became quiet again as the small man looked at the beautiful princess. Then, softly, Obilagwu kissed her. The people shouted louder than before. Obilagwu was carried from the table and wrapped in clean royal cloth. The king himself placed a golden necklace around his neck. "You are not just a husband to my daughter," the king said. "You are now a prince of this land." The chiefs, though surprised, bowed before Obilagwu. They knew the people had spoken. They had seen with their own eyes what courage really looked like. From that day, Obilagwu was known across kingdoms. Children were named after him. Songs were sung in his honor. The king gave him land, gold, and authority, and most of all, he gave him love. Lesson: this story teaches us that true strength does not lie in size or looks. It lies in the heart, in courage, in patience, and in love. Obilagwu may have looked small, but his heart was greater than many. He believed in love, and he fought for it. No matter who you are, you can do great things if you don't give up. Subscribe to the channel now and share this amazing story of courage, sacrifice, and destiny.